Okie dokie. Hello, guys. What do I got on here that's weird? Okay. Hey, y'all. We are going to, while Bristol is still fresh in our heads a little bit, we're going to go back to the stream that we lost power during. And I'm just going to finish the last 100 and so laps of that Bristol Cup race. And then the picture that's on the screen right now is the win that I'm going to play after that. And this is my dad right here. That's Vic Kangas. And he is actually going to win this race at Bristol with Jeff Fuller in 1996. I will, anyway, that's that. We are going to go back there. We're going to play that race later. We're going to finish the last 100 laps of the last live stream I did. So this is just the continuation of the Cup race. I was here for this race. And I believe we're at the point right now where the 2 is leading and Gordon is second. So let's get the field rundown and all that and start watching this. All right, guys. Let's go racing.
Pennzoil Motor Oil, first to fully achieve the tougher 1997 GF2 performance standard. By Firestone, America's tire since 1900. By Chevrolet, one car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR, genuine Chevrolet. And by the NASCAR Story, to order call 871 NASCAR. Coming up in here in just a few moments, ESPN Sports Center. And what are they going to tell us about? Well, some late-inning baseball heroics. The Kickoff Classic. I can't believe it's time for college football already. And the preseason NFL action. All that coming up right after we conclude our coverage here on ESPN. And we are going to be taking another break and be back to wrap things up from Bristol Motor Speedway in just a moment, where Rusty Wallace has come home the winner.
Hey, Lynn, do me a favor, put some plastic on that coat. Is there a piece of plastic over there?
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway, and here are the unofficial results of the race here this evening. Bobby Hamilton finished in 10th position, the last car on the lead lap. Wallace, Gordon, Martin, Jarrett, Labate, Waltrip, Spencer, Burton, and Rudd preceded him.
And Lake Speed, Jeremy Mayfield, Sterling Marlin comes back after his crash, finishes 18th. There's Morgan, Strickland, Craven, Bobby Hill, and Chad Little. Earnhardt finishes 24th.
And the rest of the finishing positions, 4 cars were out of the race with a checkered flag dropped.
And obviously all of these cars on this page had a lot of problems.
Now the points. Labate holds on to the lead. Jeff Gordon moves up 1. Dale Jarrett moves up 1. Earnhardt down 2. Martin the same. Rudd stays the same. Rusty Wallace gains 3 positions. Schrader and Marlin stay 8th and 9th. And Ernie Irvin, the big loser here tonight, he finished in loses 3 positions. Now, Winston Cup qualifying Friday from Darlington on the Deuce. The Busch Grand National Duraloop 200 from Darlington at 1 o'clock next Saturday. Then Sunday, NASCAR today, followed by the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Can Dale Jarrett win the Winston Million? Rusty Wallace wins here tonight. Sports Center is coming up next. Thanks for joining us here tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
All right, just in time. Excuse me. I was on the phone yesterday. Hold on, I gotta hit my inhaler. Hold on. That's better. And that's expected if I work outside, which I did this morning. Let me see. We will close this one. Oh, for all you all, Austin LaPlante. If you see, this is 1996 Winston Cup Series, Austin LaPlante. If you go to his page, this kid's got it going on. And he puts up new stuff, see? He puts up stuff. But what you got to look at here is this playlist. Check this out. Every year. Every single year. Kart, Indy, NASCAR, Trans Am Series, Xfinity, trucks. Every year. I'm not kidding. This is where I get all this stuff. One of the best tended sites. He's always working on it. Huge shout out to Austin. Follow that kid. He's growing all of a sudden a lot, leaps and bounds. He's got 5,000 subscribers. And he's got a Facebook. I'll probably get some links with him. My sister has some races that he is missing on video, so we're going to be working on that. Maybe we can help the kid out and let him know when we post it. Anyway, that was what we were watching there. Definitely, this is a ++ website on YouTube. I get lost in there. You'll get lost in there. You'll go down rabbit holes forever. I mean, he's even got like races from the 60s, so that's my ideal. And anyway, we're going here. This is going to be the race we're going to watch. And this dad right here, and this is the driver, Jeff. This guy, the Steve Plattenberg, and it's owned by the guest checkers, Jody and Tad. It's the same as the Stenhouse team now. Anyway, let's watch that race. I was probably here. I would say I would be on a hauler or something watching it. But I don't remember the victory lane part. We might have been already leaving and back in the Cup garage. Or we could have left before the race. Or I don't remember. I know after we get done with every chore we got to do, y'all get in a van and you go back to the hotel or whatever.
In a place we affectionately call Thunder Valley.
So we will see.
Will be these people right here. Estimated at some 70,000. These stock car avid fans will be making.
I actually have the hand notes on this race. It's very interesting.
Their favorite Busch.
I have this set up and stuff, and that's like in our family archives. It's secrets.
ESPN, the world.
If I tell you, I'd have to kill you.
Welcomes you live to Bristol Motor Speedway. Yeah, it's Thunder Valley in Bristol, Tennessee. The NASCAR Food City 250 Busch Grand National Series event.
Sitting on my clothes again.
It is a beautiful night for racing here in Bristol, Tennessee. A few clouds in the sky. Couldn't ask for more perfect evenings in the mountains here of eastern Tennessee. The field lined up side by side, getting set for 250 laps. Yeah, they fired them up, and they fired up these fans. And Bill Weber, the noise down there must be deafening.
Well, Jerry, Bristol is an endless roar of sound. It begins early in the morning, and in the fall, in August, it ends late at night. We had a production meeting here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We talked about the surprises, the fast guys in practice. One guy we never mentioned, Jeff Fuller. So what did he do? He surprised everybody, and he won the pole. Right next to him is a local favorite, Brad T. This team's shop is literally just down the road from this track. But there are more surprises here as well. Mike Wallace, who lost his Winston Cup ride, starts third. And in fourth is David Green. The points leader. He's 41 points ahead of Randy LaJoy. And LaJoy starts behind Mike Wallace. Wallace is third, and Randy LaJoy will start fifth here tonight. The fast
Birdie's the crew chief on that.
at the front, but some guys
My dad's crew chief on the 47 for this race anyway.
but could be
And the rest,
fastest
like,
guys when we begin the
second half of 96, Dad was with the
Benny Parsons.
47.
Yeah, I thought I stopped doing this a long time ago, but they called me to duty tonight, and what a scramble this day has been. It started at 8 o'clock this morning when the NASCAR Bristol driver checked in. At 10 o'clock, they're on the racetrack practicing. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, they qualified, and now they're racing at 7:30. And after qualifying, they could not touch their cars. Couldn't make any type of adjustment whatsoever. So all the practice today, they had to have some things in mind. Qualifying and the race itself. So that's why we have some cars, really fast cars, starting in the back of the field, Gary.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Ned Jarrett, two-time NASCAR champion, and a special guest host tonight, our analyst Kyle Petty. Kyle, welcome to ESPN. Glad to have you with us. Sorry you're not in the race car. I know you're ailing a little bit this weekend.
Just a little bit sore still, but this air condition up here in the booth while Benny's down there, it makes me feel a lot better.
Glad to have you with us. We'll take a look, Ned, at the Suzuki starting grid. 38 cars here to qualify. Man, qualifying was close.
It was very, very close. Just a little over a third of a second separated first and 34th. So, hey, any car in this field, I believe, could win here tonight.
There were 45 cars who came here to qualify. As you said, they had only .382 seconds. There is Jeff Fuller. How about that young man? His wife, Liz, had a baby last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, about 5:30, had a little girl, and 24 hours later, he picked up his first Busch Grand National Series pole. He had Terry Labonte start 16th. Folks, he can drive the short tracks. That's how close qualifying was. Dale Jarrett back in 20th spot. Todd Bodine back in 30th. As you look at the starting lineup, 38 cars.
My mom was babysitting the Fuller's older children. Might have been because of that. I'm trying to remember. I know my dad would babysit sometimes for
It's provisional.
Jeff and Liz.
To go to a backup car, he had a qualifying lap, and he had to go to a backup car, and so he wrecked on his second lap of qualifying and had to go to a backup car, so he'll go to the rear.
That is Larry Pearson. As you watch him, we're going to be riding along with some in-cars, not the Band-Aid adhesive bandages Ford Thunderbird. That was Dale Jarrett. Here is Jeff Green's Food City Goodrich Service Chevrolet.
And boy, he was one of the fastest cars in practice, and yet he's way back in the field. Just a little bit of a slip in qualifying.
Rockin' Rodney Combs, Lance Snack, Chevy owned by the King, and Channel Lock. That's the roof cam for Kyle Petty. A race, 250 laps, track record 123.746, not broken in qualifying. That's the pole speed this week. Pit window 140, 150 laps means they'll make one stop, probably for 4 tires, and the purse almost $300,000. Pace car off the racetrack. Great crowd. Glad to have you on hand here at Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway as Carl Simmons waves the green hanky, and they head into turn 1. Back in line. There is old Todd Bodine's car. Jams on the brakes. Nearly goes up across the racetrack into the wall.
He gets it back down to the low side. I thought, I guess it's okay now, but it looked like he was slowing down more than maybe he had to.
First laps have led this year. Kyle Petty, how tough is it for a driver when you look in that mirror and know some guys right on your bumpers? Just a moment ago, we'll take a look again and see what happened to the 14 car of Patty Moise, and watch the 3 car of Jeff Green come in there. He just gets a little tap, jumps back in the brakes. In-car camera view of that near collision moment ago. Good job by Jeff Green to back out of the throttle and jam on the brakes. I started to ask Kyle Petty, how tough is it here? I mean, do you watch where you're going, or do you watch the rearview mirror and see all these guys banging on you?
You don't have time to watch anything but the racetrack at Bristol. You can't watch. It's hard enough to watch what's in front of you, much less what.
I have a busy evening. I'm going to go visit my sister in a little bit.
He goes in and he's down
after this race.
Right on the bottom. He's the fastest car right now. If he can get around.
Go see my husky.
Turn 1, hard impact.
Ooh, nieces. Slow down. Back it. Oh my God, back it down. Mike.
There's a tire.
Oh, Jesus.
Backstretch, it will bang and go over the pit wall. Heads up.
Heads up.
That's a tire
Heads
that
up,
will
guys.
come across and comes across into where the trucks are parked.
Yes, ma'am.
All the way off the right side of Mike McLaughlin's car. That's what's left of Mike McLaughlin's Royal Oak Chevrolet. And the car just snapped abruptly to the right, went up across and just tagged that concrete wall a ton.
That car is wiped out.
And it's a hard hit on the left side. Yeah, I know the right rear tire is gone, but he hit a ton on the left side. And if you hit at Bristol, you're going to hit hard no matter what.
Let's take a look
Gee
and see what
whiz.
happened to Mike again here. This was a horrendous lick just a moment ago.
Oh, no.
Number 29 gets into the 88 car. 88 is Kevin LePage. 29 was Elliott Sadler. And let's see where McLaughlin gets involved. Well, 88 spins on around. And
I think, look at the
there's Todd Bodine's car.
on fire.
And we got a fire up in turn 4 on Todd Bodine's Cape Canaveral Cruise Line car. He is trying to get out of the car. The crew hopefully
Gee
telling him
whiz.
that the car on fire under the hood. Now he's trying to get unbuckled, and the crews come out to get him out. As there is fluid pouring from beneath the front of that car, possibly a gas line or something that's erupted.
Watch this. Oh, jeez.
He's going for
This
this.
isn't good.
He wants help to get his race car to get that fire put out. And there's
Extinguishers are locked.
And they're trying to get out there to get the fire put out. Now they get the fire extinguishers going up to the Cape Canaveral Cruise Line car owned by...
Pass. Pull the pins and aim and sweep. They're not sweeping. You're supposed to sweep.
Oh, that car
Oh, my God.
There is Todd Bodine. Fortunately,
Guys.
climb out of the car.
I taught safety in manufacturing.
That
So.
machine erupted in fire.
Know a little bit about that
For the
stuff.
caution flag. The reason for the caution flag happened at the exact opposite end of the racetrack.
Plus, my
Laughlin's car number 30.
fourth husband was a fireman. So I went to a lot of fire training with him. Even helicopter stuff was really cool.
and into the wall.
He passed
Go back
away
to the very beginning of it as it comes in. It was down on the wheel.
last year in the spring.
I don't know if the right rear wheel
Been a while now.
actually broke or if the rear end housing broke, but it was down on the wheel throwing sparks. If you run him into the corner in slow motion, you can see the sparks.
See up
See
the
the
left
sparks
side of
are
your
up.
screen, yeah.
The sparks are already on the racetrack, which means the wheel has already come off the car at that point in time. Either that or the tire.
2 of my 5 ex-husbands are passed.
So obviously something broke. I mean, he had a major failure suspension-wise on the
1 is probably incarcerated by now.
Jimmy Spencer's car, the car number 20 that spun around the Zippo lighter machine. That's
1 I still talk to, and 1
Cruise Line car.
I haven't talked to in
And that's Todd Stetson.
40 years.
Camper. Obviously, whatever broke
No,
in front of
35, 30,
the car erupted.
30 years.
Now, just a couple of moments before that, Todd had gone scooting in almost into the wall in turn 1 when the car wouldn't turn. There's Todd Bodine. Fortunately, he's okay. So, Lynn, if you're watching, and the Bodine family, Todd is okay, but the car pretty well scorched and used up. Well, when caution happens at Bristol, things happen in a hurry. Back with more after 15 laps are complete. Stay with us.
Jeff Fuller is leading.
And by Daytona, U.S.
And
Ultimate Motorsports attraction.
he was 14, I was 12 because I was 2 years younger.
Back at Bristol.
And he was
What's left?
he was accompanying a
Chevrolet.
guy named Bob Smith that was a car builder and car owner.
At the very beginning, they show you
And later on,
called the speed shop.
Jeff would race at Westboro and make his way up the ranks, become a modified tour champion and
34 car
the Australian NASCAR
in a moment.
Cup experimental there champion. And
34 car comes.
what else has he? And he won Bristol here, and he
Car, so
drove
something failed on that car as he came into the corner. He was right there by himself. Nobody ran. He
BGN for
up into the wall.
quite a few years. He drove Cup in 2000 for that one incident
The car began to spark over there, so there it heads.
where I said that they had bought Cale Yarbrough's team, and my dad kind of spearheaded that whole operation to purchase Cale Yarbrough's number 98 team, and that was in 2000. They ran one race.
Side of your screen, you saw that a moment ago.
I believe they blew a motor, something to do with a whole bunch of stuff, but I believe the
Roof cam as he tries to weed his way.
I know the story, but it doesn't matter. But the financier got killed in a plane crash,
and went down to the.
and that went to hell real fast.
With Elliott Sadler.
Jeff but I might have drove that car a couple times too.
Sadler driving the car number 29.
But yeah, there's a little bit of that in the stats. If you look up on Racing Reference,
One car, top of your screen. That's
is where I got most of that information. I can't find almost any story about that almost at all.
Tire's flat. That left front tire is flat there right now.
So he had nearly spun and flat spotted the tire, so the tire was flat. He was trying to make it to the pits. Meanwhile, let's check in with Benny Parsons. And Benny, clarify some of this stuff.
Well, what happened to Mike McLaughlin in the Royal Oak Charcoal Chevrolet? The right rear hub broke going in the corner.
It's not a good feeling, Benny. I just felt a little vibration entering. Brake pedal went to the floor, and then the right rear wheel left me, and I was doing circles.
You was hanging on.
Pretty much hanging on at that point.
I was going to say, it looked like he broke an axle. You don't usually lose the wheel, but the axle wasn't attached still.
Which doesn't come very often here in Bristol, but we'll have to go get him next week with the Royal Oak Chevrolet at Darlington.
Okay, Mike, let's walk over here and see if we can find Todd Bodine. And, yeah, here he is. Hey, Todd. What was the fire about?
What's that?
What was the fire about?
The oil tank plug was sticking out about half an inch. Not even nothing you would even consider getting pulled off the car, but when the tire got flopping around, it just went in there and ripped the plug right out. Just pulled it right up and emptied the oil tank right out.
Man, they caught on fire, and it was an ugly scene.
Yeah, it was ugly. Made me mad. I went over to get a fire extinguisher, and the thing was locked up.
The fire extinguisher wouldn't work.
It was locked up on the truck. Couldn't get it off the truck. But fortunately, the guys got there and got it out before there's not a whole lot of real damage to the car.
You gonna try to get back in?
I don't know. We'll have to see. The biggest problem is actually plugging the oil tank up. There's no way to hold the oil in the car so the motor won't blow up. So I don't know. This is typical the way our season's been going. You know, the last 7 or 8 races, we've had an awful good race car. It never can seem to get to the end of the race.
There, folks, you can see the remains of Todd Bodine's Cape Canaveral Chevrolet. Guys.
Well, Todd Bodine and Mike McLaughlin can both go home, unfortunately, humming that country music hit. You picked a fine time to leave me, Loose Wheel. Caution number 1 at Bristol Motor Speedway. We told you it'd get exciting. And
that's a scary feeling. You always got to be heads up. I mean, I know it's exciting to be in the pits and stuff, but it's not. You got to be like always aware of your surroundings. Anything could happen, you know. Steam or anything. Projectiles in all shapes and forms.
He was the pole sitter here. That's the top 10 left side of your screen. Yeah, 225 laps of action to go here at Thunder.
And everything's pretty hot when it comes in, too.
Since the green flag dropped at the beginning and picks it right up again.
The car, the fluids, the tires, the pipes, everything.
As you watch this battle, Mike Wallace can't quite make the move. And Benny Parsons, you caught up with that loose wheel we talked about.
Yeah, someone found the loose wheel, brought it over to the NASCAR, the Bush truck, and you can see the brake rotor, the caliper, everything intact, and there's where the hub broke and came off. You talk about 80 pounds, Kyle. This thing must weigh 125 pounds.
Oh, that was dangerous. That loose wheel right there bouncing around, bouncing over the pit wall. Unfortunately, he was able to go against those trucks down there and get stopped.
One of my home tracks, Westboro, a woman in the pits got run over by a tire like that and got killed. So it is possible. That was off of turn 4 on a quarter mile. Hey, what's happening?
Nice.
Wow, thank you, Emily Brooks.
Here's Mike Wallace. Oh, no, can't quite make the move. And now he does make the move.
But he gets the front wheel down on the flat and couldn't get traction. It threw it.
Has the Piggly Wiggly sponsorship on David Lee Murphy.
Oh, I know David Lee Murphy.
Car number 4 winning at Michigan last week.
That's Purvis's car.
26 miles, 63 laps on tank of fuel. I said he get pretty good fuel mileage.
That's about like my Harley gets. You know what I mean? I was very impressed by not only him, but Kevin LePage in that race.
Yeah, LePage.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
65 laps.
I think you're cute.
Jason Well back up front.
She killed a snake this morning. A little baby snake.
Last night getting his...
I got it on my last live stream.
In his 46th
this morning I did a quick 20-minute live stream when I was making sure our camp lot was okay, like the whole lot, like because we're supposed to get that wind.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway. Field summary show you where your favorite driver is running. You see Jeff Fuller still being shown as our leader as you look at the view from atop.
I don't remember where the heck I was during this
Spot. Yeah, he can see the leaders going into turn
race.
22. That's got to be a good feeling, Kyle. When you
This is Saturday.
and be able to see the front of the field.
It's a great feeling. If you can see somebody in the top.
I might have drove up just for Sunday. That's what I'm thinking.
1 through 38
I
cars.
remember driving up to Bristol one time by myself.
McLaughlin involved in that horrendous incident there in the first at lap 15. McLaughlin.
Yeah, that's that's Stella.
Pass him for 30.
She's
Jerry kept
sleeping down there near my son
Terry was running along,
in the other room.
and all of a sudden he didn't pull down to the
She's a plot hound,
You run faster than I want.
Carolina plot hound.
I tell you what, sometimes that's the best thing to do.
She came from Wilkesboro,
If somebody's holding you up, the best thing to do is get out.
and my dog came from the North Carolina mountains. She,
Really good, but especially these.
Carolina plot hound is
Battle in NASCAR Busch Series
a breed that came from like a
Green, 94 Series champion. 41
what is it called?
cards,
Mountain cur and a bloodhound.
third and fourth spot in the field.
And the people that bred him's last name was Plot. That's what I read about that. So these are little native Carolina Furbies.
Or you can hear they come by there. And
She wants to go out. She just woke up. And she just ate. She was sleeping on the floor. Let me let the kitty cat out. I'll be right back.
So that puts the speed, what, the middle of the straightaway over 135, Kyle?
Makes it way too fast for a racetrack like this. I'm not good at math. I'm out of that. You know what I mean?
That's Kyle Petty joining us as a guest analyst tonight as you're watching Busch Series action from Bristol Motor Speedway. That's Mike Wallace in the 90 car. He's second spot. He's getting worked over now by David Green and LaJoy right on his bumper.
Earlier in the race, Mike Wallace was wearing out full. I mean, especially through the center of the corner. And then all of a sudden, as we saw before, he got down on the flat coming out of turn 2 over there, and he never has come back to challenge for it. And since that time, David Green and LaJoy are right there waiting for him to make a little bit of a slip, and I think they're a little bit faster maybe at this point.
One car's coming in a hurry is the Band-Aid machine.
Oh yeah.
20th spot. And where is he right now? He's in the
Yeah, they're my
13th right now, working on Chad Little there for 12th.
babies. They keep me grounded. It keeps me like on a cycle that I always have to.
You could pass at a place like
I guess
the 23 car.
I can get like
Down to the bottom and got out from
ADHD type,
the car works good enough to take the center of the corner.
and they help me be grounded.
Pretty good slip in qualifying. He was among the top 5 or 6 in practice and started back there in 20th position. Here's Michael Waltrip work.
I grew up in motorsports. I've done a lot in motorsports, a lot of volunteer, and a lot of
by the Bobby Daughter machine. Bobby
like
getting hung
owned
side in the loop.
owned a car when my ex was a race driver and stuff like that.
We'll show you what happened a moment ago.
Cezanne, yeah. Stella and Cezanne.
Ran in on,
Like Paul Cezanne, the artist.
he had to really get on the
But she's a girl.
from running all over Daughter. Good driving.
Like my son will call her Zana. So it's like Z-A-N-N-A-N-N-E.
Jeff Fuller,
Cezanne.
the way he set sail, man.
He really has. He's driven.
They've got to still make a pit stop. Still 100 and...
Well, he might have him.
Let me fix that. It's a little blurry on my end.
And how many more might come out in that second groove?
Let me try. Might clear up the numbers.
Lost 2 positions because, you know, you see
183 to go. Still didn't clear it up.
that's really second to 14th. They're all running in a pack right here.
That's Phil Parsons in 6th spot. The car number 10 looking over Stevie Reeves in the Clapper Girl Chevy. Tony George.
They're good kids. My Stella's favorite thing is going to the doggy beach,
Stevie having a good
and she loves the ocean.
had a good running qualifying.
I throw most of my videos up on YouTube. If I'm live,
Which was the highlight of his year, I guess, in 19.
like now,
Having a great
it'll be on Twitch, but then I'll upload it, export it to YouTube. And
position.
more of my beach stuff is on YouTube because they have a poor signal.
It has caught these 2 cars, 43. That's Rodney Combs, the 12 of Michael Waltrip.
Well, Michael sitting there trying to drive offensively to get around Rodney Combs and at the same time having to hold off Jerry.
Girls who are into cars, racing, and motorsports are better than most of the women's.
Checking out, saying, see you.
Michael's in the worst to try to drive offensively out the windshield, defensively out the back light.
I don't know if it's better. Like, I just never understood being a girly girl, so it's weird. I always liked working on cars, and I was good at it, and
The rule is 2
helped a lot with the,
Most of them will come in, make
like, there's always somebody in your pit you need for a gopher to run and get something you don't have off the parts truck, or
One of the best races on the racetrack right now.
go check what heat you're going to be in, or where is your starting spot for the feature, or, you know, all the things that the guys working on the car, like, full-time, don't have time to check on
leading
when they're dealing with tire pressures and things.
5 into 74, Dave Green and Randy LaJoy.
Well, since they got around Mike Wallace, they've driven away from him, and now Stevie Reed is working on Mike Wallace. So, Kyle, you're right.
I think that women in motorsports have to be
The racetrack, his car hasn't worked
better
good enough.
than good,
I don't know
if that makes sense. It's just the way it is. I've always just been one of the guys in the garage and in the pits because I spent my whole childhood in the garages, and
at that time.
it's hard to, like,
Mike Wallace is 4th behind him.
I was never looked at as a girl, so, but I see a lot of emphasis on that nowadays.
Host, there's Brad.
And I do follow a lot of women in racing, like the guy that's going to win this race, his brother's daughter races every Friday night at Stafford, and she's really good. But
Watch the left.
they're a lot harder on women if they accidentally spin someone than if a guy actually accidentally spins someone or something.
And maybe he just doesn't have a sway bar. Maybe it's
I would like to see
left front suspension.
a female come along that actually can hold her own with the men. And I think Isabella Robusto has a good chance. I know a girl that races in ARCA, and we followed her since her pro trucks down here at New Smyrna. She's a Florida champion and a New Smyrna track champion in pro truck, and that's Becca
Explains why Mike was having
Becca Monopoly,
happened to Mike here coming off.
and she's going to be racing ARCA in a couple weeks.
It looks like that
Might be ARCA West,
have just barely
but
touched him, and right as
she runs a few ARCA races a year when she can get sponsorship.
anyway, if he gets a slide,
And she's good, but she is getting older too. She's like probably in her 30s now,
It doesn't.
or late 20s,
And I'll say something.
which is old in motorsports anyway. But
That's the place you check.
I think there's not much room for error if you're a female in motorsports.
Stevie's right on him. He's got
But
a place to go, and everybody.
I've also seen men make a mistake in the
Angle from above.
pits or on the car or something and lose their job in a day too. So I don't know.
you hit somebody on straightaway, that'd be no problem.
It's a competitive sport. I like short tracks better than the big series.
As Kyle said, that's
It's a lot more fun.
check up. So
I've had more fun volunteering than getting paid.
from looking at top Dale Jarrett's car.
I got paid when I was a scorer in Cup. I was actually scoring for Lake Speed in 96 and
You get right here.
for Jeff Bodine in 97.
Stay on away.
And I got paid, and it was nice, but I still had a real job in real life, a real full-time job, and I traveled on the weekends.
Caught up with Mike Wallace.
But it was good. It was extra pocket money, but it wasn't anything you could survive on.
Well, I was starting to get a little loose. And I left the 74 and a Caterpillar car go by me. You know, there's no use holding them up. And just trying to ride to a caution. And I guess somebody helped us be the caution.
What happened there when you wrecked?
I think that's why they tell me to say it now is a racing incident.
Okay, he wasn't very happy. He's not masking his feelings. He's upset, and his car's torn up, and they thought it was going to be a great night. I mean, they really thought.
We're in the pits, the 47, I think,
Well, as you see, pit road is
Yeah.
full. There is our leader, Jeff Fuller. He is in and out.
and the 74.
Oh, that's
That was my dad.
Their great pit stop, David Green. There's Green out the 64 of Dick Trickle.
I think.
Take a little longer in the pits.
Could have been Steve.
You beat Herbie, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, pit stops have been made. Second caution of the night. Many of these guys will not come back to pit road unless something happens to the car. Back with more from Bristol Motor Speedway after this. Moon over Bristol. Well, maybe it's not moonshine, but the moon is certainly a glow over the mountains of eastern Tennessee at Bristol Motor Speedway as we work the second caution flag of the night. Now, something unusual just happened a moment ago when this caution came out. Some of the lead cars did not know that pit road was open, which meant some of the guys behind them were able to come in on the first.
There's another couple of female drivers I've kept an eye on.
Jeff,
Katie Hedinger.
Car coming down pit road. Who's that?
She was under a lot of pressure. She's pretty darn young and kind of lost her grip at one track and crashed somebody.
I don't know why the leaders either decided later that
in retaliation, which wasn't cool, and she lost the championship and her ride over all that.
These cars will go to.
She runs her own team a little.
Jeff Fullerson.
She just got into it so young and too much pressure too young.
The other cars have already made their pits.
I think. She's talented. She won New Smyrna.
They will now show Michael Waltrip. These guys came in and pitted a moment ago, changed 4 tires and put fuel in, but those 4 or 5 cars that pitted on the front stretch along with a couple on the back straightaway pitted when the pits first.
Taylor Raymer, she's good. She's coming up.
Waltrip made a pit stop, so he is the leader of the pits and Benny.
This is Steve Bird, crew chief for Randy LaJoy.
My son does sim racing, races on the sim.
The flag down there. Something got messed up in NASCAR. When we started going by, it wasn't open. Then all of a sudden they opened it, you know? They said something about the pace car did it, but they never did it that way before. It's always the flag.
So they're saying that when they went by, the flag was not quite open, but after the 4 or 5 of the leaders went by, then they opened pit road is what Steve Bird's contention. I guess talking to his driver, Randy LaJoy.
Well, they have a green flag that they hold over the.
My son's done drag racing in real life, and his stepdad worked on cars. His real dad's uncle was a modified driver for many years through the 60s.
But the crew
even drove Cup a little. So our whole family's been in it, and my son worked on.
made the decision to stay out. If you want to come in, we're ready.
Mike Dillon's car, I think, when he was in high school, just helped him out building stuff. So he's always been around it, but he races on the sim, like I said. He's pretty decent on that, and
let's show you how the shuffling took place. Now
he is
Bill Weber, Michael Waltrip did not pit. They had
good with cars. He, like I said, he did drag racing a long time with his friends in Mooresville.
Sadler in 5th spot, 6 through 10.
He's drove at Rockingham in a Ford Open show.
Now he was the lead.
Stuff like that.
By virtue of coming in the next time, he's in 9th spot, and David Green
9th.
in 10th. 84 of 250 laps are complete. We'll come back with green flag action.
Some other people must be on a different pit cycle.
Wonderful stock car fans on hand here at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee for the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Food City 250. You might add that Michael Waltrip was actually 11th and Jeff Green was 12th prior to that caution flag.
I have to go to Ormond at 5.
Winston Cup racing action.
And
tonight, Speedweek, 12:30 a.m. Eastern time.
What else do I got to do tonight?
Grand Prix of Belgium, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Deuce. NASCAR tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time on
double check on the.
Seconds will be here for our live flag to flag.
Got to double check on the
500.
Like I can't animate backgrounds or anything like that.
Jeff ran the National
or it'll crash.
Speedway for a number of years. Here's Purvis, Elliott Sadler, now Rodney Combs makes a move inside the 29 car.
Well, we've seen this picture before.
Oh.
And there's the car 00 Buckshot Jones out there losing part of his race car. So I started to say that we've seen that shot. But, and here's the problem. Stevie Reeves has crashed here on the front straightaway.
Clabber girl Ford.
I don't have Insta.
From Carl Simmons, Reeves down against the inside pit wall. And that'll make it 4. Almost a handful of cautions at Bristol, Tennessee. Boy, Stevie Ray.
Like I said, I keep this computer here just bare bones
Number 96.
and do everything off of
Jerry, he had dropped back
the internet.
was up there in the top 10.
And
all the leaders made their pit stops.
all of that, but I appreciate that talent, you know.
And the leader, though, comes on the pit road. There's Michael Waltrip.
Oh, man, my face is so itchy being outside.
Well, this is a surprise. Ronnie Silver told me just a few laps ago they were going to try and go at least halfway, lap 140.
The only thing that I have on this computer is
They come around to the left side.
my
Trouble with the right front. He's got
Chrome and
close to the air gun. They finally
what else?
They come around to the
OBS.
You can lose a lap here, even under caution. Now they drop the car, and Michael's going to go ahead and back out.
I don't have Facebook on here either. I do everything like through the internet. I don't have any apps downloaded because of, like I said, the resources on this computer.
Well, let's show you if we can as Michael Waltrip exits the pits.
But if you want, I can
It was in a pack of cars back there, Jerry, coming off of turn 4.
I can like a Facebook
Something anyway.
something.
Inside of the racetracks.
If it's under Emily Brooks, I'll search it.
Stayed there.
And let's take a look from one of our pit handheld cameras across the pit road at Stevie.
It just sort of came out of the pack there. I don't recall.
It's hard to tell from that angle whether anybody got into him or whether. And that's a place just like when we saw the 90 car come up out of turn 2. It's the same type corners. These corners are almost identical. You come up out of turn 4, it just jumps out from under you.
Kyle, does the driver know? Do you always know if you've been hit, or sometimes you get out of the car and not know?
Here, you don't know for a number of reasons. The racetrack is so rough, you bounced around, the car pitches from left to right. You watch the in-car cameras.
That car looked way different at night than during the day.
You lose
that green during the day is a sea green.
And you just say, I lost it. And you watch it on TV and you see where somebody ran
Look at that.
A lot of times at a place like this, you can't tell whether.
Under the lights, the car looks so different than the daytime.
Say, yeah, man, he knocked the crap out of me back there. You know what I mean? I didn't lose that on my own. But, you know, when you step back, the worst thing that ever happened to a driver was TV, because this thing tells the truth all the time.
That's Kyle Petty, our guest analyst tonight, having him here at ESPN, still nursing those injured ribs and that fractured scapula. And the 12 car will come back to pit road. Maybe they can change those left side tires this time. Maybe put a radio in the car.
Alrighty.
Goes forward.
Thanks. I'll jump on there after I'm offline.
Wood Brothers crew getting work on that car. We're under caution for the 4th time today.
Steve Bird, that's Dad's friend he goes to coffee with still.
Back to Green Flag Racing, Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. The car number 40, Tim Fiedel, is a lap down looking at the rear of the Food City Chevrolet. Jeff Green driving for Teresa, Dale Earnhardt, Tony Uri and company preparing that car. He is the leader for the first time this year, being shown as a leader in Bristol, Tennessee. 4 cars second in the points. LaJoy, he has also made contact with the wall. Craven, apparently a tire coming off. Look at the right front, that caution flag waving over there.
I think the tire that came off of the 2 car is hung up under the 74 car right there. That's why he couldn't turn. He run up on the tire and he drove it straight in the wall.
Tire caught. Get the jack ready. Stop one. Can you stop and try to get it out? All right. Try to get in here.
He might have a little bit more problems than he thinks he has. It's going to be a little bit more than just taking that tire out of there. However, he's still able to drive it, and the 3 car is coming into the pits.
Tony Uri and company will go to work on the Goodrich Chevrolet, as he was being shown as leader. He will get right side tires and top it off in fuel. They will make an adjustment on the right rear and try to tighten the car up. Well, the car was sliding a little bit. There's a 74 still pushing the right front tire.
Put 4 tires on this thing.
The 74 car, if you look at the 74 car close, that tire's drove up under there far enough that it's got the front of the frame up off the ground. It's taking the camber out of both front tires.
There's some gasoline burning in the exhaust of the 2 car, Ricky Craven. Let's go into 74 pits with Vinny.
I tell you, this is not pretty at all, because it has broken the radiator. The radiator is broken in the 74 car, so they're changing the tires. He's going back out.
Tire here, guys.
And once again, while I've got it, let me just show you what happened to this thing. They're trying to get it out of the way. It looked like that the spindle broke, because the hub is there, the brake rotor is gone. It looked like maybe the spindle broke on the 2 car.
Well, I tell you, this track is so tough on every part of a race car, particularly the right front and the suspension of the race car.
And Kyle, over the years, when a crew brings a car here after they run this race in Bristol, whether it's the Busch race or the Winston Cup race, don't they take the stuff off and just throw it away?
You just throw it away. You throw away every piece on the car. And you come here with brand new stuff. It's not like these guys that come up here with junk. It's stuff they've been running all year. We saw a hub break off the back of the 34 car. Now we see a right front spindle or something in the right front suspension break off of this car. It's incredible how hard this car is, and it's incredible the force you drive down into the corners and that you exert on the right front corner or on the right rear corners of the cars.
Take a look at it from a different angle as he comes into turn 2. The wheel comes off, he gets into the wall, and then the tire comes down. We'll see Randy LaJoie come along there in just a moment. And see there, he has already picked up that tire. And he didn't hit the wall too hard, but you could see as he got up on top of the tire, he's on the brakes on top of the tire trying to turn the wheels, but the car is continuing to go straight because at that point in time the tire was up and it lifted the front wheels up off the ground.
There's Craven's impact you see from Jeff Green's car. Okay, we'll see if we can show you again. Looked like a high-speed hockey game. Watch the tire come on. Looks like they're passing the puck, and LaJoie just picks it up. There it comes.
It comes down on the inside, and you saw right there that it got right underneath the car of Randy LaJoie, and then, as Kyle said, he picks his wheels up off the ground a little bit that the car just simply won't steer. You see the tire come off, and then LaJoie comes along, just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And Bill Weber is caught up with Ricky Craven. Bill?
A cold drink of water, you're okay. What happened out there?
It broke the right front suspension, and you know this place is tough. It's tough on the drivers, it's tough on the cars, but it broke something and it just shot for the wall. But I'm okay. Say hi to Kay and the kids and my family, and got a good, safe car. I hate it for the guys. They worked awfully hard, and this is the car that we prepared for. We're planning on going to Darlington with, but we got a couple other good cars left.
Good luck tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Up top.
Less than 100 laps remaining, just 95 to be exact, as Terry Labonte is shown as our leader here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. Our NASCAR Busch Grand National Series coverage of the Food City 250 from Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by the more than 1,400 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
Okay, so it looks like we haven't pit.
Engineered by Walker.
Okay. I'll go on Discord after too. I do all that on a different device.
Running in second spot being shown is Jeff Fuller. David Green is third.
It looks like we didn't pit. We've got a
point standings. Randy LaJoie, there's a 74 car, and it's still now showing some.
Ooh. Yeah, he ain't no good.
From that accident he had a moment ago, and then he gets a little tap from the rear. Randy Porter in the car number 48. And Randy just ran up on him quicker than he thought he would.
And I think Benny may have called it right a minute ago, the way it's smoking out the pipes and stuff. It's probably knocked all the water out of that thing, and it's just running hot, and he's just melted the motor now. And, you know, there's not a lot you can do with it when it starts smoking out the pipes like that.
There's Brad Teague, the car number 77, who's involved in that spin a little bit ago, trying to avoid another car spun to the inside. And there's Jeff Green working the food battle here, Food City against Food Country. Ford is the 77, the Chevy is the 3.
My guess is that while this race was running, we were already parked at which is
from Thunder Valley. Now Mikey makes a move to the inside of Purvis. Mikey Walton we're talking about.
Hour and 30 minutes from now.
Tried to get through, but he couldn't quite get there.
I have to run out.
I guess Kyle, the front guy, makes the route.
And
if you got a good guy that's willing to root for you, that's
be somewhere at 5.
Couple of races up here and follow Jack Ingram up through here.
That's
anybody rooted as good as Jack Ingram did, I'll tell you that.
There are the lead cars. That's Terry Labonte looking for his third win of 1996. Mayer sponsorship. Beecher Hetland Motors. Awful strong engines in Labonte Chevrolet. That's an in-house motor program for Beecher Hetland. There's the 47 and 95. That's second and third. And look who's in fourth spot. Dale Jarrett has come back to the front again in that Band-Aid Ford.
Well, of course, attrition has helped him some, but he also has passed a good number of race cars. He was in 12th place after all of them made their pit stops. So he's able to run right there with David Green and Jeff Fuller. Labonte keeping himself about a 5-car lead.
Slow car, very bottom.
Fuller might be holding David Green up a little bit right now.
Second, third, and fourth. Here is Chad Little making a run inside of Curtis Markham, Lysol, John Deere, and we have the 00 car, Buckshot Jones, and the 88 of Kevin LePage, last week's runner-up.
In here.
Eighth caution flag. There's LePage. David Riddling on Farmer's Choice Fertilizer Chevy. What's left of the front end of that Chevy Martin car. Look at that right front tire just wobbling.
Wheel brake road on the right side.
Yeah, and he's got more damage on the left side than he has on the right side. Well, there they are. Whatever started it, they got together up there on the outside wall. That was Buckshot Jones in the 00 and Kevin LePage in the 88 car.
Now David Riddling will bring that car down to C.R. Miller and the folks. As you heard him say a moment ago, brake rotor on the right side. After that great run at Michigan. Finishing second last week, career best for Kevin LePage.
And David Green has come into the pits. The third place car is in the pits.
Our point leader, you see LePage in the back. There's the front pits with the Caterpillar car. And Benny Parsons is there, BP.
This is really amazing. David Green and these guys would pit the Caterpillar car because I talked to Steve Byrne on the 74 car. He felt like they could go the rest of the way without any problem whatsoever. But these fellows have chosen to come in, change 4 tires, and lose all that track position. Never seen Jim.
What we're doing is looking at just finishing up Bristol. Last week, I was going to do this stream, and our internet quit right in the middle of the stream. So I'm following up with just finishing that up.
It's the NASCAR Featherweight.
And I was not here that night. I was probably eating dinner with Lake's crew then. Hey.
Busy Sunday for motorsports. I mean, yeah, we enjoy you.
Cool.
Enjoying the action Busch Grand National Series style. It is wild and woolly here in the mountains of eastern Tennessee. Back in a moment. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, lap 189 a moment ago. As they were getting ready to go back to green, the 5 car apparently was radioed.
I'm so glad you're spelling it normal now. Uh-oh.
Hermie Sadler.
Oh, geez.
You hear the spotters telling their drivers, go high, go high. As Sadler comes down across. And the DeWalt Tools.
Because I would have sat here typing it like 8 million times. Thank you for coming in. This is just a historic thing just because I like to play it at Bristol. I have this set up in real life of all this whole race and qualifying and everything in my files, which is really cool. But Dad,
cost him a good top 5 finish.
Dad got the pole, and they're going to win the race too. And Jeff, like I said, lifelong friend.
Road, as the cars were coming around to take the green flag, they changed.
Oh, it was clever, but I just couldn't. I was just like type as Q,
Left rear, Terry
S, W, and ER, and I'd be like, damn.
The green was coming out, so they put on 2 left sides.
Because then you got to start over.
Now and get right side tires, and he'll run to the finish. But Terry's chances at a win may be punctured by this puncture.
All right, we were running first, and Terry was running second.
He heads back to pit road, as you heard Bill Weber say. Let's show you what happened here just a
Or the opposite way.
Well, Jimmy Spencer in the 20 car comes up there and they make contact.
We have a hurricane on the way.
Again, make more contact, big contact that time, and that sends Hermie right into the wall.
But Dad's working with the 47, which is Stenhouse nowadays. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, that was a fun one.
And spins also in the car number 64. I don't think he hits anything. He just makes a 360 and keeps going.
Keep us guessing.
And watch what a great job Jeff Green did driving through this. This is the roof camera, the Food City. Whoa, got a little. He got a little tap in the back of Trickle, but he's able to get through. Well, caution flag number 9. Do I hear 10?
So anyway, we do have a storm coming. I'm getting prepared.
6 laps away.
I did a little 20-minute live outside of what the lot looks before anyway. I have to go and house sit down in Ormond. So hopefully everything will be fine here.
Caution for the nighttime tonight.
This weekend.
Here on the high banks.
So anyway.
Things happen in a hurry here.
I think I might have my son stay here.
0.533 miles around.
We're not supposed to get anything but 40-mile-an-hour winds, which won't
He was our pole sitter, 39.
Be life or limb. It just would be good to have someone here to put a tarp on the roof or something. If we get a stick through it.
You saw him able to dive through a moment ago.
But we're just north of Daytona Beach. We're in Flagler, and I'm the daughter of a crew chief, and
Elton Sawyer.
I also own late models in my
ESPN presents Arena Bowl
80 in the 80s.
Storm and the second-ranked Iowa Barnstorm.
And
the first meeting between these two teams.
I follow all y'all on sim racing, and you know me by name, I'm sure.
Defending champions. That's Monday night
as T.
ESPN.
I hope the weather's kind to me too. I'm going to look at the update just before I go offline and see that the rope model hasn't changed. If it goes like it is, we're just getting sustained winds of 40 miles an hour and mild rain. But that's enough just to mash my plants and be a nuisance and make the moss and light branches break. As long as nothing goes through the roof, I think we're okay.
I said, are you going to come back in for fuel? He said, no. I said, well, what about your tires?
Are
they giving up? He said, right now, Jeff is running.
Turns sooner than they think,
as he could run with
then it would be worse.
The tires
but
are as good
right as of now, it looks like we're okay.
They might have to pit, but right now, everything looks good to go.
But the last update I got also said there's a lot of confliction in it. The car on the outside here is a lap down. That's how they used to do that. He has to race for his lap back. They stopped that with the Lucky Dog, which I think was a really good change. A really good rule change.
Michael Waltrip and possibly Derek Cope.
For safety.
And Michael Waltrip made pit stops a while back on a caution flag and have already worked themselves back up into the top 5. Now Jerry working on Fuller as they go into turn 3. He is there, bumps him a little bit, lets him straighten out.
My dad's crew chief on Jeff Fuller's road course thing there in Daytona with the modifieds, 73 4-ish.
These guys are coming in a hurry.
Making their way back up towards the front.
My dad worked with Alan Sir Sr. out at Riverside, California. And that was,
at time,
I think, in
Fuller and
the Cup car. Or IMSA, one of the two.
Still clear.
Not sure.
Just joined us, Jeff Fuller, who's leading this race.
Getting down near the end of this.
Back in third spot. Yesterday at 5:23 in the evening, Jeff Fuller and his wife Liz had their third child, Tiffany Elise. So it's been a busy 36 hours for Fuller. His wife watching from a hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, back at Presbyterian Hospital, cheering her husband, maybe, just maybe, his first Busch Series victory ever.
He's driving his heart out.
4 cars ahead again. They're the ones that get out of the way.
Something looks off kilter up there. Oh, 99 East.
Now Fuller able to pull away
or the 90.
from Dale Jarrett.
The black car is slow.
Angle on the lap car coming off of turn 4. Doesn't take very long to move right back in, though.
You saw Fuller's best finish of 4th. Boy, would he love to be able to go to victory lane. Won his first Busch pole in the series in his 46 starter. We've got there the 3 car, Jeff Green. It is Fuller, Jarrett, Parsons, Spencer, and Michael Waltrip. As we are 34 laps away from conclusion here, can Fuller hold on? Or will the veteran Dale Jarrett make the pass? We'll find out when we come back. Less than 30 laps to go as we have a crash here in Bristol, Tennessee. Heavy contact. Chad Littles comes off the outside.
Oy vey. Stop, stop, stop.
Car in the middle of the racetrack. Boy, Terry Labonte did a whale of a job, and so did Elliott Sadler to split the 77 car. That's Chad Little's John Deere Pontiac, or what's left of his Pontiac. Oh, what a tough break for Chad Little. Last time on the short tracks, Ned, at Indianapolis Raceway Park, Chad was on his way to victory and had problems with about 16 laps to go. And then tonight, we are less than 30 to go, and he heads back for the garage.
Tough season for Chad.
My.
He was running along by himself. Something happens to the car. He gets up into the outside wall, comes back down, and collects the Brad Teague car.
Yeah, that's Brad Teague's 77 car. Watch Elliott Sadler and those guys. Terry Labonte high around the outside of Brad Teague's car, and Sadler went down to the inside. Let's take a listen.
Like he just gets a little bit loose coming up out of the corner and tries to correct it. When he does it, maybe overcorrects a little bit. You're running so fast right in there that a lot happens in a 50-foot span, and it just jumps out from under him and spins back across the racetrack.
Eddie Parsons?
Yeah, Kyle, that's exactly what it looked like that when I was watching turn 4.
That's my YouTube page. I'm going to upload these right after the race ends and the stream ends. And I get most of my views on YouTube, so I thank you, YouTube people. And if you want, you can just go over there and hit, it's called subscribe, but it's free. And that's where I put most of my everyday stuff that I can't film live. So I think you'll enjoy that, and I really appreciate everybody who's new. I think the last time I looked, I had 28 new followers in the last week or so, and I appreciate that very much too. So if you are watching this VOD on YouTube, I really appreciate it a lot. Trying to save a little bit of the history and a little bit of the stories that you might not hear all the time on the main.
There you go. For him to pick up a position or two. He's had a good run tonight.
And now Michael Waltrip looks to the inside of Spencer. That's for 4th, right side of your screen. Jarrett on the...
If any of y'all hadn't never seen Jeff Fuller, he is one of my favorite people in the planet. He is just always has fun racing. Even if he wrecks, he has fun racing. He's just got a lot of energy.
Got about a car leg.
Or he used to back then.
I've never heard a spotter drive.
We're all old now.
On your line, off the corner. He's looking. He's inside.
Oh my.
Clear.
Jarrett to the inside.
Come to the line. White flag, Jeff.
I'm going to tell you something. That shows...
Slow cars on the bottom. Come on through. Clear.
That shows the class Dale Jarrett has right now.
Come on down the straightaway, Jeff.
Yeah, you could have dumped him.
Staying here, but he running all the way inside, and Dale could have drove him down.
About 2 car lengths back, 1 car length. Come on to the line, buddy. You just won yourself a race.
checkered flag for Jeff Fuller and the young man.
Good job, guys. The motor started skipping real bad when you gave me the 23. The 23 to go. The motor dropped something or did something. I changed ignitions and she's skipping pretty bad.
Wow.
Right now, buddy. Good job.
All that going on in wins.
About that right now, buddy. That's Jeff Fuller, and yeah, he deserves a victory lap.
There's my dad on pit road there, right in front of the guy with the red hat.
For victory, buddy.
And this is going to be a very emotional victory lane as Fuller waves in this crowd of some 70,000. We'll come back and talk to what probably be a tearful Jeff Fuller in a moment.
This is the team that's Stenhouse's team now. It's been reorganized. Used to be ST Motorsports.
39 years of age, in his 46th career Busch Grand National start, picks up his first ever NASCAR Busch Grand National win. What a way to do it. He sat on the pole tonight, fought his way back up through traffic, and held off veterans like Dale Jarrett and others.
How's it in there, driver?
Less than 24 hours ago, his wife giving birth to their third child back in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's that big smile from Fuller. 1992 NASCAR Modified National Champion.
My mom babysat his other children, the two children, the older ones, at times.
Bill Weber.
Maybe the baby too. I remember going there once and the baby was there. I think Liz was there then.
Jeff Fuller!
Benny, did you have a C-section? Oh, no, that was last night. How you doing, Benny?
What? You ruined the roof of this poor man's race car.
I'll fix it. No, I only weigh 150 pounds, not 250. I'll tell you, this thing was going good. These guys work real hard. We've had some highs and lows this year, a lot of lows. Sunoco, I can't say enough about them. They've been with me for 14 years now, and I'm glad they stuck this out, and there should be announcements shortly for next year. But the motor started skipping towards the end. There was 23 laps left to go at the end there, and it started skipping. And I was just praying that it hung on, and, you know, it did. And I kind of cut Dale off a little bit down there, but we don't care. We're nobody, man. But you got to do what you got to do on the last lap. But I'll tell you, this is for the guys. Great job, great job.
What happened to the engine? Do you have no idea? No idea?
I really don't. I think it went down on 7, or maybe something happened, but it was fluttering.
Did your heart skip?
My imagination.
Did your heart skip a beat every time it missed?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. You always hear about the horror stories. You know, the last 10 laps you feel all these little gremlins. It wasn't a figment of my imagination. It was a fact. So I'm just glad for the guys. They did a hell of a job.
Well, we're going to go find out how mad the second place finisher is. He's with Bill Weber.
Well, Dale Jarrett takes a drink of Gatorade, a big smile on his face. That was pretty exciting from over here. How about where you were sitting?
Yeah, it was fun. It was great fun. I had a good time there. Had a good race car. Jeff was better than me off the corner, and I was better than him getting in. And, you know, we just swapped back and forth there, a little paint. But he did a good job. I think he lost the cylinder and still hung on there. And my car wasn't running on all 8 either. But we were glad for this Band-Aid Thunderbird. Finally got back to running like we should, and that's more gratifying than anything.
Did you feel you had a right front going down on the closing laps?
Well, I thought that I did, but I think I just got up a little bit high, and the car took off on me. And I'd worked it pretty hard there trying to get around Jeff. So I think it was more that I just wore it out probably. But I was a little bit frightened after seeing some of these guys hit the wall. I didn't want to hit the wall tonight, and don't want to any night, but definitely wanted to bring it home in one piece. So it was a good run for us.
Lessons learned for tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. This is a different tire than we had here in the spring, and kind of know how it's reacting and what it's going to do, and a little bit on the chassis too, so hopefully it's an advantage for us.
Okay, that's his first win. They had a baby last night. That's a pretty good story.
Congratulations to them. That's terrific. And Jeff's a great race car driver, well-deserved victory, and I'm glad to see him get it.
And that comes from a great race car driver.
How about that for a show of sportsmanship? Watch Dale Jarrett's crew as they're watching him on the last lap try to drive underneath Jeff Fuller. Watch that Band-Aid crew.
They see him get on the inside going into the turn. You'd think that he had him, but as Jeff said, he came down, which was the thing he needed to do.
Now let's watch it from the roof cam, Dad.
Oh my goodness.
Again, as you watch Dale Jarrett make a move inside, and you called it, Kyle. What a class act by Jarrett not to pull back up. He could have tagged Fuller, and it would have all been over with.
Yeah, he could have run straight through his door right there. That was a lot of class.
Unofficial results, our full fill rundown here from the Food City 250. Jeff Fuller takes the victory. Take a look and see where your favorite driver finished. You'll see the car that finished on the lead lap at the top 15. You'll see that.
Still gives me all like the willies, you know, like I still get the chills as if it was the new, like this week, you know, not 30 years ago. Or whatever, it's 96.
Bristol, Tennessee, 38 cars started, and here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Here are the points. David Green pulls away now to a 95-point lead over Randy LaJoie, Jeff Green, Curtis Markham, and Jeff Purvis.
Jeff was just coming off a Rookie of the year before.
Our live flag-to-flag coverage.
Let's see what I'm going to do.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the Goodies Headache Powder 500 live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
See if they're not going to show Victory Lane.
NHRA drag racing.
Oh, they did a little, but anyway, that's just a repeat. Ooh, crap. This is what I wanted. That was them in Victory Lane. They're not going to go that long. That was just the end of the coverage, and that was re-showing him jumping out of the car. So, but that is in Victory Lane, and this is Dad, and there's Jeff, and pretty awesome trophy and all of that. I'm sure it's up in Mooresville. Jeff's up in the Mooresville area still. And let me see what we got left here. This is one other thing I'd like to check in on real quick. Thank you for sticking around. Let's see. This is
yellow. That's where we could have some of those gusty winds that could cause some power outages.
I'm right
through the day,
here.
Thursday, we'll start to see some of those gusty winds come up into Tampa Bay and the west coast of Florida. But look how far out those winds, those damaged
That's what I'm saying. We're going to get wind.
200 miles off to the east and northeast.
We're right here, right?
Issues all the way to
that little
Alachua County, into Duval County, St. Johns County, and North Florida. So
right
this
here.
gives you an idea of the size and scope of this system as it moves off to the north and northeast.
This little square.
We see the orange. That's where we could have some widespread
damage
and power outages. Where you see right here as we go into later Thursday afternoon into Thursday night as it continues to move off to the north. So again, as we look at the big impacts, I'd say storm surges first. High tides for us. This is key for us here in St. Pete and Clearwater. It looks like the highest tides with that surge coming in late Thursday into Thursday night with that high tide at 2:19 a.m. on Friday. So that's what we'll be watching here in the forecast. As far as why the big surge, you can see, well, the track of the storm.
Again, we're here.
High winds pushing the water against the coast and just piling up that water, and it has nowhere to go. So by Thursday morning, we'll start to see those winds pick up, and they'll be really gusty out of the south and southwest, 40 to 60
It says 50, 40 to 50 in the yellow.
And that tends to cause the storm surge. As far as rain,
not too bad of rain. We're here.
Areas, maybe a little bit more along the coast, but again, it's not really about the rainfall at this point. We take a look at the 7-day forecast now, and there it is. You see the big impacts there, surge, wind, power outages as we head into especially Thursday, okay, and Friday morning, okay. We'll keep you updated on this, and of course, keep streaming us here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
All right.
All right, let's rock.
That's about it. I'm going to call it a stream. Let me see. Is anybody on? Anybody on? I have to check on my phone. Hi, Stella. You want to go for a ride and see Auntie? Stella wants to go see Auntie. Yeah, you wag your tail. Oh, it's breezy. I feel a breeze off your tail, sweet pea. Let us see who's on right now. It's really hard for me to know what I'm doing. Alrighty. Let's see. Sublime. There we go. The raid has been created. Have a good night, everybody. I will update you tomorrow on conditions, and we will be safe. If I don't put it on Twitch, I will put it on my YouTube, which the link is above. And I will, because sometimes, you know, I can't go live if it's not got a signal, you know what I mean? So, I can do data something. We shall see you later. Go enjoy him.